saved it, and right after, what did he save? Another Ibrahimovic penalty. Whoa. So Ibrahimovic keeps missing penalties. And 78% of our Instagram followers say, get the man away from the ball when there is a PK. And I agree with them. I mean...
But is he willingly going to give penalty kicks to anybody else?
All right. During the game, he missed the first one, got saved. Rebic scored, right? And then there was a second penalty. We'll talk about how many penalties AC Milan got. There was a second penalty for AC Milan, and Frank Kessie, as cold as you want, he put it in. So this year, Ibrahimovic has scored 42.9% of his penalties, while Kessie has scored 85.7%, 6 out of 7.
It's not even close.
But it's so weird. We were talking about it yesterday with Michael. Isn't it weird? Because if you look at Ibrahimovic's career, he's missed 16 penalties out of 100. So that's actually a great record. I don't really know what's happened. What do you think, Rory? He's lost the mindset, maybe?
Of Zlatan, I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I
don't know. Maybe he's too cocky. Could that be said about Zlatan?
Thank you. I was kind of feeding you the answer. Maybe he's got a little too cocky. Maybe
he's finally hit the tipping point.
He's called himself God a little too many times, right? Because that's annoying, and he hasn't been performing. I mean, he's still a good player.
He's still good, man. That's revisionism isn't going to help. He's still having a very good season. He's still having a very good season. I don't know if he's Serie A's top scorer right now, but he's their top scorer, right? Milan.
I think so. Yeah. He's having, but also thanks to all the penalties. Thank you.
Well, okay. So why are they getting so many penalties, Tommy?
I don't know. I just raised the level of my volume there accidentally. But they've got 14 penalties in 20 games. That's 0.7 penalties per game. Wouldn't you want to be AC Milan? Because I would. I mean, Lazio, everybody was talking about Lazio last year, that they got so many penalties all the time. At the end of the season, they got 18. We are halfway through the season. AC Milan have got 14. Like, they're on their way to get like 30 penalties. I don't know. I think one of the reasons, I was kind of reading an article about that earlier, is because AC Milan, they verticalize very quickly. And so sometimes like teams are caught off guard and they're kind of like forced to foul the forward in the area. I do think that AC Milan have been kind of lucky. The first penalty, for example, in my opinion, it is a penalty, but the way the ref whistles right away without a shadow of a doubt seemed a little like, ooh, really? Like, don't you want to review that? But turned out to be the right call. But hey, AC Milan, at the end of the day, still leading. They haven't, I predicted that they would like kind of slip on banana peels one after the other, but they didn't. And Bologna under Mihajlovic, they've been a pretty good team, but in their last 5 games, only 1 win and 1 draw. The other 3, L. Not so good for good old Sinisa. Second in the league, Inter Milan. Okay, I was worried. After the AC Milan game, you look at the temporary standings, and AC Milan are all of a sudden standing 5 points above you. And that was kind of scary. Then turns out that the game against Benevento was nothing really to worry about, despite Benevento being a decent side, and they are 7 from the drop zone. So they're not a bad team, but I don't think that Inzaghi's game plan was to come to Milan to try and get points. I mean, 3 points against Inter. That kind of showed during the game. It was a very comfortable 4-0 win, but I have to say that between the own goal from Benevento and the Lautaro's goal and the Lukaku's first goal, it was kind of like, okay, guys, we are not conceding anything, but we fucking need to push. Like, we need to score, and then we did. But this game, man of the match, in my opinion, he didn't get a goal, but what a beautiful game he had. Christian Eriksen. I'm doing a little hard for our listeners in case you can't see. I'm very happy for you, buddy. Hey, in Serie A, these are the first 90 minutes that he plays since July 22nd versus Fiorentina. 24 games for you, buddy. Imagine for 24 games, you don't get to play the full game. And you know that you've got it in you. So All I got to say is that the Inter management have now said that Eriksen is not going anywhere. I'm very happy about that. I feel like he's found his confidence again. Conte is going to start in more and more often. I think there's going to be quite some turnover with Brozovic, but also Gagliardini was playing, so maybe Brozovic could play instead of Gagliardini, and Eriksen could still be in the pitch together with Barella. That would be a great lineup. And then Lautaro, what a goal, and Lukaku, what a beast. Rory, you said, well, tell our listeners, who would you rather have at Arsenal, Lukaku or Lautaro?
I would rather have Lautaro. I really like Lautaro. I think
78% of our followers on Instagram, they vote for Lukaku in their team. Why do you think is that?
It's unlike me to be wrong. No, I think Lukaku is much more prolific, right? I think he gets you more goals.
Right.
I just really like Lautaro as a player. I love him. He's got that kind of absolute graft. He never stops running. He's technically very good. His finishing could be better, but when he finishes, it's usually a beautiful finish. I just really like him as a player. I really, really like him. I said to you before, when I'm going to watch Inter, it's like him and Barella that I usually spend most of my time watching.
Yeah.
He's just a beautiful player to watch. And I'm very happy to see that the Barcelona rumours are slowly fading away. I saw that maybe he's going to sign a new contract somewhere. It feels like he's kind of quite happy at Inter, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there is a good project at Inter. And right now, by the way, I saw this very recently before we started our stream. AC Milan have shut down on the British investment fund that wanted to purchase Inter Milan. They decided to not do that. So the ownership, sorry about that, the ownership of Inter Milan is still the Chinese giant Suning. Tomorrow night, guys. Without Lukaku. Without Hakimi. We're going to play Juve in the Coppa Italia tomorrow night. And after that, in Serie A, we've got Fiorentina and then Juventus in the Coppa Italia, and then Lazio and AC Milan and Destro's Genoa in Serie A. It's going to be a long month for the Nerazzurri. But let's get to the third position. Roma are still third. So Roma are really, you know that Office episode where Michael Scott does parkour? Let's go parkour.
Over the sofa and that, right?
Yeah, that's Roma in the past 3 weeks, right? Like they've been, I mean, they were saying that Allegri was close to getting the job, and then that Fonseca was going to be sacked, and then that Roma sacked, and next thing you know, they beat Verona, whom, in my opinion, are a very decent team, 3-1, and there are a bunch of good news. There was a rumor going on about this trade, Dzeko for Sanchez at Inter Milan. I would have done it right away. But that didn't happen, and Dzeko is going to stay. And guess who's back in Rome? He's not an emperor, but he's a pharaoh. It's Stefan El Shaarawy back from China.
Oh, he's back. I was trying to figure out. I was like, wait, what, Salah? No, wait, it's not Salah.
Oh, no, Salah is not going anywhere. But okay, in this game, the 3 Roma goals were by Mancini, Mkhitaryan, and Mayoral. Hey, MMM. That's pretty cool. But check this out. Borja Mayoral, another Real Madrid reject, right? 14 appearances in Serie A this year, 6 goals and 2 assists. He scored his 3rd goal in 2 games over the weekend. And in total, he's got 21 appearances, 9 goals, and 5 assists. Whenever this guy plays, he performs. So Real Madrid, are you going to bring him back? Are you going to sell him? What are you going to do? It feels like there is a good Spanish-Roma connection in general. And this kid looks like a deadly forward, in my opinion. But then, who was the other goal scorer? Mancini. Mancini is a center back. He's already got 3 goals this year. And in the 2018-2019 season at Atalanta, he had as many as 5. So there is nothing that I love more, especially in fantasy football, than a center back who scores a shit ton of headers.
Who gets goals, centre back who gets goals. That was John Stones for a bit in the Premier League. Like, just kept getting headers from corners. Oh,
Yeah, before he went to Man City, right? Maybe.
Not even up until he got injured. Last couple of weeks, he started getting a few goals. He can't knock a defender who scores. Van Dijk is always a good shout for that as well when he's fit.
When he has both knees, right?
Yeah.
But then
Pickford. Yeah.
Now, guys, okay, close your eyes and listen to these numbers, because now it's going to be numbers, but it's fucking incredible. Mkhitaryan, remember this guy, Rory?
Yep, another Arsenal flop.
Another Arsenal flop. Call him a flop. But this year in Serie A, 19 games, 9 goals, and 8 assists. Wait a second. Total appearances, 25. Total goals, 11. Total assists, 10. The guy is already on double digits for goals and assists. In all competitions, he's already equaled his tally from last year in Serie A, which was 9 goals in 20 appearances. I mean, this guy is on fire. He scored a beautiful, very smart goal that was kind of set up by Mayoral. Go look at the job that this guy does. But I went looking at Mkhitaryan's best seasons ever. Okay, let's go back to Shakhtar Donetsk, the 2012-2013 season. Guess how many goals he had in 29 appearances?
In Ukraine?
Yeah.
I don't want to go 23.
25.
Oh, I'm glad I went under. I didn't want to go over. I'm glad I went under. Right.
And 9 assists. And then 3 years later at Dortmund, the 2015-2016 season, 31 appearances, 11 goals, but the best season in his career for assists, 20.
Oh, that was the him and Oba year, right?
Yeah, that was the year that it was done, and then he went to Manchester United. But yeah, this guy, I think that this guy has still got it.
Oh, he was undoubtedly a very good player. It was interesting seeing him and Sanchez both part of that deal, and they're both players that have never been the same since that deal. It's really weird. It's like this cursed transfer, and like obviously at Inter, Sanchez isn't having the same amount of success, but you know there's a good player there, and you know the same with Mkhitaryan. All Arsenal fans knew there was a player there. We just weren't getting out of it.
Yeah, right. But let's keep moving down the Serie A table. In the 4th place, we find Juventus. They win 2-0 at Sampdoria. Sampdoria actually put up a fight. I recommend you guys, however, go watch the first Juve goal, because it's a beautiful triangle. As somebody told me some time ago, I don't remember who it was, football is all about triangles, and go check this one out. Ronaldo to Morata on the right, and then Chiesa comes zipping in. He's very fast. He just taps it in. It seems like a very simple goal, but it's actually very beautiful, and very, very good defending from Bonucci, Chiellini, and Chesney all throughout the 90s minutes, because once again, Sampdoria put up a fight. Juventus with only 1 negative results in their last 5 appearances. That result came against the mighty Nerazzurri. Yes, they did win against Juve. But yeah, it feels like you were kind of back at the horizon. The tum shark feeling. They are back. 5th position, Napoli. Gattuso is keeping the job. He's not going anywhere. They win 2-0 over Parma. Do you want to talk about Parma?
Can we talk about Parma, please?
Parma are sucking.
Exciting times
at the
in
moment.
Parma. Exciting times. At the Tardini, is that one?
The Tardini, yeah. Parma are actually 19th with 13 points at the moment, but they've just signed not only Graziano Pellè, the most beautiful man to ever grace Italian football.
Between him and Giroud for most beautiful footballer, it's a close one.
Yeah, right. But then, who else did they sign from the European champions?
Now, this guy, he is on Football Manager. He is someone who everybody goes out and buys instantly. Xerxes. This guy is such a prospect. Now, they've signed him on a loan, right?
Yeah, they've signed him.
Yeah, they're not signed him, right?
Yeah, no, the guy would have been like, please, guys, no, let me go. I want to stay with you. But then, finally, in 6th position, who do we have, Rory, in Serie A? Do we have Atalanta or Lazio in 6th position?
I need to open the tab. We have Lazio.
We have Lazio with 1 point over Atalanta, who are proving once again to be inconsistent as balls. And as you said, Rory, Lazio, what a difficult team to predict, correct?
Yeah, incredibly hard to figure out what they're going to do from week to week. Games you think they're going to win, they lose, and games you think they're going to lose, they win. And it must be an exciting time to be Laziali at the moment, but also very frustrating.
Very frustrating. But guess what? After losing 3-2 to Atalanta in the Coppa Italia, they get their little street revenge. Marusic, Correa, and Muriqi score 3 past Atalanta.